I need to keep it real with you. High ticket sales is completely different than what it was 12 months ago. We are entering a bit of a new era, and most people have no clue this is happening. They're still selling courses and coaching programs using these same aggressive and used up tactics, then wondering why they're still stuck at $3,000 months even though they seem to have an abundance of leads. But you don't have to be one of those people. You could actually see what's happening, make adjustments now, and still come out ahead. And if you're wondering why you should listen to me, I am 6 years deep in my remote sales career. I got my start working at Alex Hormozi's gym launch, then became Iman Gadzhi's top cash collected sales rep ever. And now at this point, I have helped hundreds of people go from zero experience to making $10,000, $20,000 and even $52,000 months with remote sales. And now I am about to walk you through the 5 biggest shifts that's happening in the high ticket sales space right now. The first shift I am seeing is where the opportunities actually are now. Let's be real here. Most times, at least the past years, when people hear high ticket sales, they automatically think that you need to sell some type of course or coaching program. Business coaching, fitness coaching, agency stuff. I mean, that is pretty much what I sold with Hormozi at gym launch. And that's what most people still think the industry is. But here's what's actually happening. High ticket is starting to broaden to different niches. Tech sales, SaaS, cybersecurity, and some wild ones that you'd probably never expect. For example, I have a good friend of mine who is managing a sales team, and what they do is they help entrepreneurs who are making good money get off drugs and alcohol. And guess what? They're doing $3 million a month. And sales reps there are absolutely raking money. Another example is one of the sales reps that I've trained from the ground up. His name is Samuel Yazinski. You've heard me talk about him before. I'm gonna have an interview with him on this page in the coming weeks. But he is selling a software tool that helps day traders make more money. It's essentially a SaaS tool that helps you analyze your trade to make sure it's profitable before you commit and put money into it. It's a $20,000 ticket price, and he just made $37,000 in the month of December. That's a high ticket sales role that most people wouldn't even know exists. Or let alone, maybe you see that role and you think, hey, this isn't a good offer to sell on in the first place. So take action on this. Stop looking at only the obvious coaching and course offers. Tech sales, SaaS, unique niche consulting, they're all hiring closers and doing extremely well. For example, Oracle, Larry Page's company, which is literally one of the biggest companies in the world, now has a huge team of remote sales reps that's selling high ticket to business owners. But the third thing I'd say is look for industries where there's less competition and more opportunity. Another example of someone that I could share who's done extremely well with remote sales is a friend of mine, Will Maxwell. He sells a cybersecurity tech offer and he lives in Australia. It is B2B. He is considered an account executive, which is a fancy word for a closer, but he has a $250,000 base salary. Plus he's earning commission on top of that. And I don't want to give his exact income numbers because I don't know if he'd get upset, but he's making a lot of money. But I will say it is north of the $500,000 per year mark. And by the way, that cybersecurity tech sales role is based out of San Francisco. So he lives in Australia, but he's selling for a US-based company in San Francisco. The amount of money that Will's making would be, damn near impossible selling a coaching offer at only 10% commission. And that brings me to the second shift that I'm seeing in the space. The best offers are posting organic content plus they're running ads. It's important to know which offers are actually worth your time. Not all offers are created equal, and most closers have no idea how to actually tell if a role is gonna make them money or waste their time. I've learned that the best offers to work for are ones that have a strong organic following, plus they're running ads. The organic following builds trust and makes the sales easy, and the paid ads pack out your calendars and give you consistency, meaning you're able to take 8 calls per day and you're not having or dealing with slow weeks wondering when your next deal is coming from. So when you have both, you'll have a higher close rate. It'll be easier to close deals. Plus you have an abundance of opportunities. So what to take action on with this is before you accept an offer, look at their content presence. Do they have a YouTube? Do they have a podcast? Do they have a social media page with real engagement? And lastly, are they running ads? You could just search up Facebook ad library, type in the company name, and see every single advertisement that they're running or not running. And if you have neither of those, meaning no organic presence and they're not running ads, you're gonna be fighting an uphill battle. You know, I saw this firsthand when I was working at Educate. Sales reps would come in with little to no experience and literally hit 10K months right away, almost by default. And it was because Iman's brand was so strong, plus he was running retargeting ads to make sure calendars were packed. You know, that is the power of joining the right offer. And one warning that I will say, sales managers, unfortunately, they will lie about their revenue and on-target earnings just to attract top-tier talent. You have to know how to vet companies or else you'll just waste your time on dead-end roles. I'm gonna share a screenshot on this screen. I got hired to work for Fact and Win quite some time ago. I really had no idea who the guy was, and the way I vetted them is once I went through the actual interview process and spoke with the sales manager and they gave me the job offer, I sent him a text message and said, hey, I'm gonna be taking a little bit of risk leaving my current offer to work for you guys. I know you're saying this is the on-track earnings, it's commission only. Are you able to show me any type of proof that sales reps are actually making that money? And because he already liked and trust me since we went through multiple calls on the interview, and he clearly wanted me on his team, within minutes of sending that text message, he said, yeah, man, 100%. Send me the screenshot. I saw that sales reps are making anywhere from like 30 to 50K per month. And I said, cool, that's all I needed to see. I gave him the thumbs up, I accepted the role, and I just went on from there. Getting into shift number 3, this one I had to learn the hard way. Being a master objection handler, quote unquote, will lose you more sales than it'll gain. Hear me out here. I know it's a controversial topic. Listen, and it does sound backwards because every sales training will teach you if a prospect says X, you say Y. But listen, buyers are getting smarter and smarter. They know these techniques now too, and most of them have been on sales calls before. So in short, they could tell when they're being sold to. Like, let's imagine for a second if you're on a sales call with me and you say, hey Alex, I need to think about it. And I use the famous Hormozy objection handle when I say, hey, I hear you, Mr. Prospect, they need to think about it, but most people don't need time to make decisions. They need information. So what information do you feel like you're lacking? I know if I'm on a sales call and someone says that to me, I'm gonna say, oh, brother, here we go. So in short, if you hit somebody with a scripted response to an objection, they feel it and then they shut down. What actually works is pre-handling objections and getting micro commitments throughout the call. Oren Klaff talks about this a lot. He has a book, I don't have it here, I thought it was, but it is called Pitch Anything. He also has another book called Flip the Script, really good books. But what he says has always stuck with me, that whoever owns the frame wins the game. And when you're reacting to objections with snappy one-liners, you've already lost the frame. So instead of waiting for the I need to think about it objection and then trying to overcome it, you need to address it before it even comes up. Instead of pushing at the end, you get small yeses throughout the call. Yes, I'd be ready to get started today if everything makes sense. Yes, Alex, this does sound like exactly what I'm looking for. That way, when you get to the close, it just feels like the natural next step. So take action on this. Stop memorizing objection handling scripts and instead identify what are the common objections that come up with your offer and learn to ask the right questions that's going to address the objection before they even come up. And you typically want to do that in discovery before you actually pitch your product. Another thing is to get micro commitments throughout the call by asking things like, hey, if everything makes sense, are you looking to solve this problem today? Or asking, hey, so, you told me you have XYZ problem. What do you feel like you need from our team? That way we could solve that for you. Once they give you the answer, you could follow up with, cool, if we could give you those things, would you be ready to move forward today? The close should feel inevitable. It should feel like the natural next step. And it shouldn't feel like you're about to enter a battle. When I was at Gym Launch, the calls where I pushed really hard and, focused on objection handling, I actually had a lower close rate. The calls where I showed up calm, collective, paying attention to what they were saying, and then asking questions to get rid of objections were the ones where I closed the deal at a much higher rate because I was just guiding them to making a decision that they already wanted to make. Again, prospects could feel when you pull out the boxing gloves and you're about to objection handle them. And the moment they feel it, you've lost it. Now, this fourth shift is probably the one that most people don't want to hear. And that is the best high ticket sales offers. You won't really find them on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Indeed. If a company is crushing it, meaning they have a great offer, they have a strong brand, They already have closers there making 30 to 50K a month. Why would they post on a job board? The only thing you'll find there, I mean, search on Indeed right now, remote sales offers. It's going to be some type of low ticket telemarketing sales where they're giving you a low base salary. On the best offers, their current team is referring people to get hired, and closers are reaching out to them. You know, the roles that you see on job boards like Indeed, like Facebook, those are the ones that are struggling to keep salespeople in the first place. So they have a churn and burn approach, meaning let's hire 10 people at once, 8 of them will probably quit, and then we'll repeat the process again. So how do you actually land a good high-paying remote sales role? You need some type of connection with the company or the hiring team. So if you're gonna do anything, take action on this. Build relationships in sales communities before you need a job. Number 2 is to reach out to closers who are already on the offer that you want and ask about their experience. You could use personalized outreach to show that you understand the business. You could send a Loom video that breaks down their funnel, what stands out that's going to be different than 100 other people that submitted applications already. Or you could use Learn Sales Group, shameless plug, right? I mean, I could just get you placed on an offer and train you to make sure that you're doing well so you could break past those $10,000 months. You know, an example I could share is Joseph Suarez. Joseph, grown-ass man, okay? He was about 40 years old. He was in politics, living out in Canada. He came in the month of July of 2025. The screenshot should pop up on the screen. 30 days later, we land him a closing offer. Month 1 on the roll, he makes $16,000 in commission. So listen, I will say I provide more than enough resources on this YouTube for you to do well, land a role, and crush it with remote sales. If you want to speed up the process, you could just book a call using the link in the description. Now, the 5th shift is good news for you. Companies are becoming more and more open to hiring newbies for high-paying roles. And this one surprises people. You know, most people think that they need years of experience, a proven track record, and credentials. But the best companies hire for conviction and work ethic rather than experience because they could teach you how to sell. They can't teach you how to believe in the product that you're selling. They have the systems, they have the scripts, they have the training. But again, they can't teach you conviction, and they can't teach you how to show up hungry and work hard every day. I have pushed damn near hundreds of people to apply and take interviews at acquisition.com. And almost every single time, it surprised me. The people who get hired were young, hungry, brand new to sales. For example, one of my sales reps, his name is Trey. He's 18 years old, just graduated high school. I'm gonna link his interview in the description because Hormozy's team messaged me and told me I have to take it off YouTube. And listen, you don't wanna disrespect a whale here, right? But he just landed a role there, not because he had experience, but because he was young, hungry, and ready to run through a wall. I will say that doesn't mean that youth matters. I mean, look at Joseph Suarez. But all that goes to say is that, you know, top remote sales companies, they're looking for conviction and hunger and drive, and not necessarily decades of sales experience. Because most times that just means you're gonna come in with bad habits anyways. So all that to say, take action on this. Stop thinking you need more experience before you apply. Lead with conviction and work ethic on your interviews and your outreach, and show them that you're coachable and hungry. You know, once you land the role, job's not finished. You do need to earn it every single day. Some people hate it, some people love it. I loved it, right? You could do $30,000 1 month with sales. As soon as a new month starts, you're back at ground zero. But again, once you learn to sell, you'll never start. Now, understanding these 5 shifts, it is completely different than actually using them. Now, lucky for you, I put together a 5-hour training that covers literally everything you need to kickstart your sales career and start hitting $10,000 to $20,000 months. It should pop up on the screen somewhere right here. And if you want help implementing this one-on-one, there's a link in the description. I'll pin it in the comments. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. And as always, once you learn to sell, you will never starve. Thanks.